I've got to get ready.
Hello, welcome back to Open Arms Reactions. My name's Casper Fox, this is Mortius, and today we're back with the Book of Mormon.
Today we are here with the Act 1 finale, simply called Man Up. And so, I was scouring for some potential animatics for this one, and there's only one that has been made, and it is a work in progress for the first half of the song. So, like we had done for a previous one, we are going to look at the animatic by, I'm guessing that's still pronounced Spearmint, even though it's not actually spelled like it. Pat put their channel on the screen, and we will be there for the first minute and 50 seconds of the song, and then we'll switch over to the lyric video by Trafalgar, who has been giving us the great lyric videos for the whole series. So that is what we are going to do, but it is time for the Act 1 finale. Now, as always, we have checked out the script over on our Patreon, and we learned that Elder Price is abandoning his mission, and Elder Cunningham has been asked to step forward, has been asked to man up in Elder Price's absence. So, how do you think that obviously was a very big change of the status quo. We've got Nabalunji now, like, sort of bringing this to the people, sort of convincing the people that these missionaries are worth listening to, and now they're Cunningham stuff. So, like, just what are you thinking as we go into this, man?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I didn't see it coming, but I also had no idea how this was gonna progress. But I also feel like Price gave up very fast. I feel like one speech, and then that's kind of like everything.
I mean, fair, but he also saw like incredible acts of violence from the general, and the general came in. That probably shook him off.
But aren't you taught that you're supposed to save these people from exactly what he's witnessing? So
yes.
In that case, I mean, yeah. So
oh yeah, no, I'm definitely. I'm not saying he is in the right. I'm saying I don't think it was as quick of a heel turn as you're saying. Like, I'm saying, like, I understand why something happened to just instantly left turn him. Not saying it's the right choice, but you were just like, wow, just one speech? I'm like, yeah, and the guy getting shot in the head, like, there's a little more behind his decision than what you're making it seem, and it's also objectively the wrong choice for what he's been taught. So, let's see how Cunningham is going to step into this role with Man Up.
What did Jesus do when they sentenced him to die? Did he try to run away? Did he just break down and cry? No, Jesus dug down deep, knowing what he had to do. When faced with his own death, Jesus knew that he had to.
Before we get to that kind of chorus, what a start, right? There aren't captions for this, unfortunately, but so far.
So, this is the, like, where I feel like this is the first animatic where it really looks like Josh Gad a lot. Like, first of all, so stunning visuals. But musically, it's so interesting because when you're approaching songwriting, something that you usually want to avoid for all the songs, it's not a bad thing, but it's a songwriting technique that can very, very easily get repetitive, and it's called tonal cadence. And it is essentially where you're home, out, home, out, home. Like, it's like na 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 na. So if you listen to how to avoid that, because they have had a lot of tonal cadence in the songs. So to differentiate between them, instead of having him sing going back to the root note or the root note in the melody there, he says cry instead of singing. Like, try going back a little bit so you can see her at the end here.
Did he just break down and cry?
You hear that? So
I hear exactly
cry
what
instead
you're
of
saying.
cry. Going back to okay,
because cry would have been the root note there, so it's kind of a
so it would have gone back.
That.
It would have gone back to So that's
also
very nice.
As a reminder, I haven't actually seen any of these animatics except like 2 frames clicking through to make sure they're good. This is really good. Like this, the vulnerability, the like tears like welling up massively in his eyes. This is beautiful. You really kind of feel the emotion here. Right?
Did he just break down and cry?
And the Bible on the floor next to him.
Jesus dug down deep, knowing what he had to do. When faced with his own death, Jesus knew that he had to man up. He had to man up. So he crawled up on that cross and he stuck it out. And he manned
You'll
up.
be back.
Yeah,
Soon
very,
you'll
very
see.
kind of similar
Yeah.
there. I even noticed
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. Actually, you might have seen it in my face. I also noticed that for the first time. But I love the way it's like this like.
Man up. He had to man up.
I love that, like, he had to man up. Like,
Yeah, it's very cool.
I love the delivery of this. This is really the song where Josh Gad really got to, like, take off for the first time, and I love it so much.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man up. He had to man up. So he crawled up on that cross and he stuck it out. And he manned up. Christ, he manned up. And taught us all what real manning up is about. And now it's up to me.
Yeah! Welcome to the Act 1
Nice.
finale, Casper!
Damn,
Isn't that
hell yeah.
awesome?
That's so cool.
Oh,
It reminds me
I
of
love the soundscape of this one.
reminds me of Hell is Forever from Haspin, starting with this like
yes.
very much, and then this rock tenor vibe. Yeah, interesting. There was this like really cool call and response, which is something usually when you have call and response elements in music, it's between two instruments or two
Yes.
voices or something like that. Here it's between the octaves on the piano, which I don't believe I've heard before in any Broadway setup or any musical ever. You hear like it dum 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 like here instead, because they're not connected, because they play out the bar and then jump
but
that.
yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and that is really cool. I love like just the whole energy he brings here is awesome.
What real
Smart watermark.
manning up is
I know, right?
about.
Now.
And now it's up to me and it's time to man up. Jesus had his time and now it's time to man up. Taking the reins out, crossing the bear.
Whoa! Wait, stop, actually. This is really good.
Time to man up.
I was so focused on your face processing the vocals that I like noticed what was happening on screen.
Had his time and now it's time to man up. Taking the
I love, first of all, I love Jesus had his time, but now it's mine to man up. So, like, interesting because, like, and it also kind of shows something very interesting because now both of our main characters have tried to, like, mentally step into a religious role, but Price was trying to be the new prophet Joseph Smith. Cunningham is trying to step into the role of Jesus. And those are very different religious figures that kind of inform the way that they're approaching the situations, which is really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Like I think there's more complexity to that than like surface level would indicate.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting because, as we know, he never read the Book of Mormon. He has absolutely no clue what he's doing because he didn't read the instruction manual in a sense, right? I don't know, because
to be fair, like, yes, but also, like, I'm sure there was a lot of like Sunday school and things like I'm sure he's been taught it, he just hasn't been able to
Probably
read
familiar
through
with it,
himself. Like, I'm sure he knows the stories, but
I wonder, and something I also want to mention, that a lot of you guys who are either Mormon or have experiences with Mormonism or have left the church have actually been really nice and like reached out to us both in DMs and in comments and be like, if you guys want to know more, we're always happy to tell you guys. So first of all, thank you so much for that.
Thank you for all the polite informativeness in the comments and everything like that.
It's been really sweet. This has been really sweet. I do wonder though, and I think that's probably something that either like that they can maybe shine a light on, is that how, because I would imagine that when being taught in the religion or in the Book of Mormon, that obviously reading the Book of Mormon, or even like I will probably even dare say that missionaries are expected to know that book back to front to back,
probably,
I would assume, right? So what's a situation in which are there a few Elder Cunninghams that slipped through?
I see what your
wonder if
question
that's
is.
the case.
Like how likely would someone like Cunningham getting to go on a mission be in the actual faith is kind of what you're asking. Interesting. That's a good question. But then
Now
these
it's up to
visual,
me and it's time to man
where
up.
was it?
Jesus had his time and now it's time to man up.
Yeah, the way the like book turns into like water and then into this like these rains is really clever. And then on taking the reins, and then the reins get pulled back into the book as he gets the cross. This is
Super
amazing.
cool. It's
Holy
a great
cow,
animatic.
Spearmint.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
Crossing the bear, just like Jesus, I'm growing a pair. I've got to stand up, can't just clam up. It's time to man up. 'Cause life when you know you got to man up.
Before we kind of keep it going there, I know, right? It's so good, but I do especially love just like I almost feel like, because you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right?
Love it, yeah.
This is like the first song we really get it, but spoiler, it happens even more in Act 2. I feel like Cunningham is written with a very similar sense of humor to like Boyle, especially in regards to like just like Jesus, I have to grow a pair. Like how like Boyle always has like the unintentional innuendos. There's one specific Act 2 song I'm thinking of, but even in general, like I love the way that he just says things that sometimes mean other things, and who knows? And I will say, this is like the only thing that I actually don't fully love about the animatic, because I feel like on stage, it's clear that when he's saying like, Jesus went on the cross and put it out, and then saying, I gotta grow a pair like Jesus, like he's not trying to make innuendo. And I feel like the visuals here make it seem like he knows what he's doing, and it's almost like this. So that I actually don't love, because like I said, in the stage show, it feels much more like Boyle, where he's just saying things naively. So, but now that you know that context, this animatic's still fire.
Yeah, but it also seemed like especially with the shot of what I assume are the other missionaries and stuff like thing, that he jumps up and like, I believe, like he's really getting into with how he's like portraying the role of how I just lost the name Jesus for a second. That was stupid. But like how he's really embracing the role of Jesus, like he starts to believe, right? I really like, and I also love how that's visualized. Like it's nice.
I like that.
Growing a pair, I've got to stand up, can't just clam up. It's time to man up.
And this note too, in like his cadence is crazy.
There's a time in your life when you know you got to man up. Don't let it pass you by, there's just one time to man up. Watch me man up like nobody else. I'm gonna man up all over myself. I've got to get ready.
I definitely see what you mean with the innuendos. Yeah. That's crazy.
Very Boyle. Like I said,
dude, I don't know.
Gonna man up all over myself. I love Cunningham.
I'm gonna wait until we get the lyric, but like right now, really weird mixing wise, especially in his lower. It seems like he's kind of drowned out by the instruments mixing wise, and I don't know if that's something that like I can't imagine why that would be in it. But I'm gonna wait until we get like the lyric video that usually has to like see what the deal with the mixing there is. Yeah.
Fair enough. And I love their faces that like man up all over myself. They're like, wait, hold on, what?
I'm gonna man up all over myself. I've got to get ready. It's time. What did Jesus do when they put nails through his hands?
Wait, go back. The first frame when they're turned around. Why are there animals on the back of them? Snake,
rooster,
chicken,
dolphin, flamingo? I have no idea.
What? Okay. Well.
Fun fact, I've worked with all 4 of those animals. Mortius lore continues to drop.
What did Jesus do when they put nails through his hands? Did he scream like a...
The light beams for the nails?
When they put nails through his...
That's fire. This animator is incredible.
Did he scream like a girl? Or did he take it like a man? When someone had to die to save us from our sins, Jesus said, I'll do it! And he took it on the chin.
And so that's where we get to the end of the animatic, which was absolutely beautiful. But I want to kind of let that, like, I'm not going to spend too much time right here, pause, because I want to get to the next line.
To save us from our sins, Jesus said, I'll do it! And he took it on the chin. He manned up, and a man grew up. Took up.
Man, dude, he's just going crazy. I adore this song. This is such a great finale, even though I learned that this was the Act 1 finale while we were doing this series. Fun fact.
Oh.
There is a song in Act 2 that I thought was the Act 1 finale for a very long time. Because remember, I've never seen it on stage, but I've listened to it, like, all the way through just the songs in order. And so, because of how, like, big this song is and the way it ends, I always in my head was like, this is a long Act 1 and a shorter Act 2. I learned in this series because I think it was like in episode 1 I mentioned like, and then the Act 1 finale, this song, and everyone's like, that's like 2 songs in Act 2, and I'm like, no, it's not. And then I looked it up and I'm like, what? That's not the Act 1 finale. But this still works really well as one. Don't get me wrong.
I feel like, quite honestly, if we did Epic without knowing like what was Sagas, if we just saw the entire thing, I'm pretty sure we would have thought Thunderbringer was the showstopper as well. Like, I'm gonna be so for real with you.
We don't need to start that fight here. Man up, and a man going up. Took a bullet for me and you. That's man up, real man. And now it's my time to do it too. Time to be a hero and slay a monster. Time to battle darkness. You're not my father. I'm on a time to just watch me go. Time to stand up and steal the show. Time to mine to. Time to. And so.
Okay.
Isn't that just wild? Like I said, Josh Gad really just kind of takes off with this whole thing.
I mean, I'm gonna be so for real with you. This song, soundscape-wise, is falling a little flat for me.
Really?
I am missing something that either it's with how the mixing is done for this cast recording or how it is, but there is not enough activity level in the drums and in that synth that plays in the background. I need something. I need maybe a melody doubling in the instrument stuff. But like thinking about bringing back to, for example, Hell Is Forever and Has Been Hotel, or this song kind of reminds me of like Dire Straits, like older like rock bands and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like stuff like Born to Be Wild, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm missing more activity in the electric guitar. I mean, missing way more. Like there is this synth like from like if you know Jump.
Yes.
Like something that I would have added to the soundscape. I think I can't judge it because this is a recording. I'll have to hear it live to see if it's just something with the cast recording or if it's like. But yeah, I mean it's kind of sad because when you have these like building up to it, you usually have added elements to it, but it's been almost the same instruments going through this entire song, and there's not been a change in activity level. They've not added any major change to the instrumentalization. So even though that Josh Gad is absolutely slaying these vocals and stuff like that, it's falling a little flat for me. Like I must admit, I'm waiting for something to like build up.
And I
if
think
there's
that
a
really
modulation coming or
shows
something,
like just the difference in how different people can absorb music. Because like those kinds of things never would have bothered me, but I'm also not here like, oh, you're just being like pretentious and picky, you know? Like all of that makes sense, even if it doesn't bother me. So it's kind of interesting. And then, I don't know if you caught what's about to happen, but we get a very Broadway kind of thing by...
Let bad things happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doubting.
Heavenly Father, why do you let bad things happen? Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, because it's kind of in a different key and a little modulated just a little bit, but that had a similar like, Heavenly Father, where will I go on my mission? And then kind of different key, Heavenly Father, why do you let bad things happen?
Motif, yeah.
And so we kind of have this coming back. I will say, I feel like you were a little spoiled because Hamilton still did it better, but I feel like the everything coming back at the end of Nonstop is like one of the only things in Hamilton that at the time of it release was almost a cliche. Like everything else about Hamilton was so pushing the fold and so transformative, but like this, I've seen so many people be like, oh, it's like a Hamilton-like finale. I'm like, Hamilton was like the 10th show to do it. You just got into Broadway with Hamilton, so you think Lin-Manuel invented it. But I do really love the way all of this kind of comes back together here in this way.
Oh no.
No, I just had a thought, and I feel like it's going to get us in trouble and take us down like a side road we don't want to go on, but you already brought it up this episode. Just as I'm thinking about like, and it's such a cliche for like the Act 1 finale to end with bringing back all the things, and then I'm remembering the end of Thunderbringer when it brings back Just a Man and Suffering and all the, and I'm just like, oh man! I'm like, it keeps circling back around to that. I'm so sorry, Jorge. Anyways.
do you let bad things happen?
Did you get my
More
text?
to the point, why do you let bad things happen to me? I'm sure you don't think I'm a flake, because you clearly made a mistake. I'm going where you need me most. Orlando!
And so he's now he's abandoning. I'm sure you don't think
Yeah.
I'm a flake because you clearly made a mistake. Like it's heavy and very sacrilegious.
Getting
things.
very crochet. Yeah. Again,
What?
yeah.
None of those were words. You just went, yeah,
don't
take.
No. Quite honestly, dude, I think I am enjoying the comedy of this musical a ton.
Yes.
But because of the like surprise and me being continuing to being caught off guard about how like on the edge this is, right?
Yes.
I'm way more distracted by the plot rather than the music in a musical, right? So, and I feel that maybe is why I can't appreciate all these motifs coming back as much as I did for Hamilton and for Hamilton and for Epic and for Hamilton. So it's I don't know. I think it may be because that like I keep getting caught off guard by the comedy and I'm focusing on the comedy that for me
This
sure
isn't really
this
holding
it's
anything
it sounds decent
weight.
but it doesn't really like it doesn't do anything for me, I must admit. Like this, yeah.
Well, for me, that like, because even it like, obviously we've done a lot of like musicals and things like that, but even in normal shows, it can still be crazy when like something from an early episode comes back, you know? So even from a story perspective, is it not kind of still interesting to have him regressing back to the Orlando motif, or like the elders saying turn it off? Like from a purely story standpoint, if you were just reading this without music, do you think you would still be like, oh shoot, that's like what he said early on? Like, because I feel like even from a script perspective, it's still kind of interesting to bring it back.
I mean, sure, it's interesting and the plot is nicely put together, but like for example, let's compare this to when Mulligan comes back and was the spy, right? That was way more like for me than now this is coming back. And it's been the same with like every time Polity shows up in a fucking epic saga, or the like change motif in Legally Blonde and stuff like that. Maybe it's because we have barely had any visuals for this. I don't know. I just like I think I want to go watch the Book of Mormon live one day. Yeah. And then kind of see if I get visuals that it changes. And it's not a bad musical. And I think also comparing it to stuff like Epic and Hamilton the stuff is totally unfair.
We definitely started you on, like, we spoiled you at the beginning in your journey into Broadway, unfortunately. But I still like this a lot.
I still think it's a great musical, but it's just not as like
it's not grabbing you
I think
as much.
The standard we've set for me in musical is affecting me now, I think.
Ooh, okay. I was honestly wondering if that was going to happen when we started checking out. Honestly, it was my concern more with Legally Blonde, because I think
I love Legally Blonde. I thought it was
so
great.
interesting, because I don't think that one's as objectively good. It just holds a place in my heart, so I'm interesting. Well, we'll talk about that more later. For now, let's make sure we finish the song in a reasonable time frame. People are probably like, just press play. I'm so sorry, Premiere people who can't skip.
Sure, you don't think I'm a flake, because you clearly made a mistake. I'm going where you need me most. Orlando!
Oh, wait.
Orlando,
I love you, Orlando. Interesting. The parts before, I've never noticed this before. The parts before are keyed pretty far down. Like the,
I'm a flake, because you clearly made a mistake.
I'm going where you need me most, versus praying I'm sent to my favorite place. Like, it's a different key, but then Orlando,
where you need me most. Orlando
is the same key. Those are the same notes from when he said Orlando before. So like, that's so interesting how everything leading up to Orlando is keyed down, but Orlando is back up to the original key. That's so fascinating.
Because maybe it's like a parallel to that he was so hopeful and so hopeful in that God would send him to where he wanted to and where he believed he was needed, and now he just doesn't have that hope in him anymore, and he's had to take matters into his own hands, and that's why he's not hopeful until Orlando.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Didn't say anything. Fire.
I'm in the lead for the very first time. I'm going where the sun always shines. Got to stand up, get my flipping can up. It's time.
Okay.
There we go. Now it's getting Casper a little bit more.
I have maggots in my stomach.
And
Okay.
that's Act 1.
That ending was,
Okay,
that ending, that's what I was waiting
We got
for.
you back. We got you back at the very end. Good. Maybe we shouldn't
Yes,
have
yes,
paused
yes.
so long then. Oopsie. My bad. Sorry, everybody. Well, thank you. That was to yourself. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So, thank you all so very much for accompanying us through Act 1 of Book of Mormon. I am very excited to share Act 2 with all of you and Casper moving forward. But for now, it is our time to say goodbye instead of hello until we come back for Act 2. I say that because I know in the real world it's going to be a while before we record Act 2, so we've got other things, but for you guys, it's still going to be next week, so I don't know why I'm being this
this week,
dramatic
yeah.
with my outro. Casper, outro, go! Ha!
ASMR. Oh, people are gonna kill me. Thank you so much, Patreons. Scrolling on screen right here. We would not be able to do stuff like this without you. I love being able to bully my friend for a living. It is absolutely incredible. Now, as always, greet the world with open arms, and we will see you next week for more Book of Mormon. Take
Hey,
care.
do you think anyone clicking on this musical and not any of our other stuff think this is like Jesus sacrilegious when we do this at the end of
Oh
the
my gosh.
episodes?
Oh my god.
Bye, everybody!